Raquel? Or do you think she's just, no, like, I'm giving her too much credit?
I think you're giving her too much credit. I'm with Andy Cohen, who said he believed she was medicated during the reunion. If Schwartzy is popping a Xanax, and he really had nothing to do with it, except for obviously he's Team Sandoval 100%. Yeah, I think she was medicated. I think that's why you're not seeing any emotion. We had fantastic Sarah Fraser show Behind the Velvet Rope listeners slide into our DMs, and they say they were on various Zoloft and other antidepressants at points in their lives, and they could not have any emotion. If life was happening, they couldn't cry, they couldn't process
That's
it.
the whole point of it, sweetheart.
That's the whole point, right? So I think she's medicated. I think there is something really wrong there, whether it's trauma from childhood that has stunted her growth, her emotional growth. You know, the rumor is she is still in a facility. She's been there for 70 days in a mental health facility. I think that's true to whatever degree. I mean, it could be half spa, half mental health, but I think she's working on that. And I find it interesting. Again, I'm a flip-flopper, so I can't come too hard for these people, but the tides are all changing. Ariana said, they caught her at an airport, and she said she feels a little bit bad for Raquel. So it's like, that's interesting. Things are changing. Lala said
she said, like, eventually they said, do you feel somewhat bad or so? She said, sure. Right. It was one word, but still, she said it.
Lala has done a complete, TMZ caught up with her at the airport. She's done a complete 180. Oh, she watched herself on television and how aggressive she was, and she feels terrible, and she really didn't read the room right, and all this bullshit. And now she will film if it makes sense. They're all going to film because the money is going to be so big. To your point, I don't think anyone's going to stop talking about this. I think in a way it's great they're holding the opening of something about her. Hell, hold it till July. Keep, have a huge line going. Keep it going into the spring or into the summer as they film again. Time it so they're doing a lot of filming with the opening of something about her. They're all full of shit. They're all going to film because they're never going to get a payday as big as this. You talk about interesting. What I find interesting about reality television, they all have been on TV for a decade, okay? James Kennedy could only recently afford a house. Honey, he's in the same category we all are. They haven't been making a nickel.
I told you this. I know for a fact they made nothing.
No money.
None.
Now, I give Ariana credit. She came out and she did an interview and she said, look, I'm getting all these endorsements. People, they were basically saying to her, you're cashing in on all this. And she said, yeah, because I come from a family that we have no generational wealth whatsoever. So I'm going to take every damn endorsement I get. I'm going to take everything. I wouldn't be surprised if we see, Ariana and Raquel in an epic,
she'll never like Carolyn Manzo and Teresa Giudice.
They will film. This is a once in a lifetime. Lightning has struck, people. This happens once in a lifetime, and you have another 2 years to ride this wave before something else comes along and no one cares. And we look back and it's like, oh, remember when that was like a huge deal? They're all going to cash in big, big time. I hope somebody's getting to Raquel, getting her some mental health, but saying to her, girl, your interview is worth $100,000. Get out there, write a book about being the mistress, do this, go on tour, launch a podcast. They all should make money. And you completely hear the tides turning. They're all going to film. I mean, again, I go back to our friend Peter, who I love, but came on this podcast famously when Scandoval broke. I'll never film with any of them. Sandoval's trash. He now has Weight Watchers endorsements. He's probably getting a big raise at SUR because he's holding it down. Now he'll film with her. They're all going to film with her.
Peter will film with the fucking church mouse across the goddamn street from SUR. Okay. But yes, I see your point. No offense to Peter, but I think Peter will film anything with anyone. No offense
to any of them, but they're all full of shit. They're all going to film. And
they are.
To Lala's point, my guess is I don't think after this Randall divorce, I think Lala was probably not in great financial shape because I think Randall probably bankrupted both of them. They were legally married.
She had to give him money on the podcast. It was, Lala and Randall.
I think that they were
to get someone off a podcast that you've signed on to. Yeah, of course, you have to give him money. Trust me. I went down an endeavor with a podcaster back in the day and I had to sue the dumb bitch. So you cannot, it was Randall and her, and I don't know what podcast company they're at, but they signed together. And yeah, so that doesn't shock me that she's had to pay him. She's probably like, just get your fucking name off it. I don't want to see you. And he's like, wait, I cannot go to the studio and I can still get the same money. Like, so yeah, I mean, listen, let's talk about how they're all winning. I mean, Ariana now has come out and said she's made over $1 million. If her price is 750, it was 35,000. If it's 750 to 75,000 to 250,000. Yeah. And I mean, she is making, like, when I see Bic, I don't care about that chicken line thing. I mean, you know what it is, but I don't think
Kane, they have tons of money.
Oh, well, but I mean, Bic, to me, Bic and
$200,000
Duracell, like Duracell is like nation, like international. People know Duracell batteries. International people know Bic shavers. They're doing an ad about starting over with a shaver. It's like, yeah, I don't blame her either. I applaud her for being honest and just being like, I want every penny I can get from this. Sure, I agree with you. If they offered a Super Bowl ad with her and Raquel, like they did with Carolyn Manzo and Teresa, who actually fucking hate each other, and they did it and they took the money and ran. Yes. Same thing. Lala, the season's over. She's now like, first of all, I think it's twofold. I think she's seeing people are coming for me. You know, knocking Raquel isn't really going to be the way long-term to work. And Lala's very smart. So, right. So now she's hedging. I did feel bad and I'm going to film with her. What about her? She says the send it to Daryl was brilliant. You could not have planned that. It went completely viral. She said it went so viral. She had those t-shirts up within 4 hours, 4 hours of that happening. That is someone who understands the game. That's like, holy shit. She said, send it to Daryl. That paid off her mortgage or her house or whatever, the down payment, whatever it was. It wasn't there before. Ariana and Katie are saying they made $250 on something about her merch. Yeah, they're all Scandoval. Say whatever you want about him. I attended the concert. I believe the first show or two were empty. And then it gained momentum. And people like me went and said, guess what? This show is good. And then the girls saw the body. You see those pictures. He's out. They're all touching that. They're basically raping him in the freaking like thing. They're like, their hands are all over him. It's unconsensual touching of this man. Now, I'm not saying we need to feel sorry for the guy. Okay. I'm just saying, if you didn't want to be touched by a bunch of strangers, well, here you are. It is unconsensual touching. And that is actually the definition of what I just said. So he's doing just fine. His concerts are selling out. Now Schwartz is on Stars on Mars.
I watched it.
You mean to tell me that he got that job for? I mean, I just interviewed someone from Stars on Mars, the one, the only Adam Rippon. But Schwartz got that because of this. So here we are. They're all winning. She might be moving to Vegas, but what about Lisa Vanderpump? I don't even know how that's possible. How do you get a show on Hulu? Does Bravo say, okay, you can violate your contract and go onto Hulu? I don't even understand. Or is Lisa not? I mean, it sounds like she's going to be on the show. At least,
well, I mean, this is so easy, right? They have Bravo has some
Vanderpump Villa
executive. They probably have an executive producer credit, or they're going to be getting a piece of whatever she's doing.